Bankruptcy was the best thing that ever happened to me. I have become my own central banker. I work now because I choose to work. With the tariffs, with the costs, the companies are going to end up cutting benefits that they've given us. You're going to pay for it in the long run. It's the doom loop.
I am so excited today because I have a very special guest here. This is Sari Zang-Powazek. She is our, what is your title at Zang Enterprises?
Director of Strategy Development.
Right. So we've been together for a very long time, and you've been working on the strategy now for
Since 2017.
It's a long time.
Yes, it is.
So the first question that I like to ask is, why are you doing what you're doing?
I know what it is to work hard, to build something, to create something, only to have it ripped out from under you. My husband and I had a nationally known collectible toy store for 40 years, only to wake up at the age of 67 bankrupt.
Yeah.
So I don't want you to lose what you've worked so hard for. It's yours. You deserve to keep it.
And that's why I asked Sari here to talk today, because honestly, it's all a consumer-driven economy, but there have definitely been chosen the winners and the losers. And with the tariff increases that are coming on board, it's probably a little bit easier for a large corporation that's being funded by Wall Street than a mom and pop. So would you talk a little bit more about, how Amazon disrupted your business?
Well, for so many years, Amazon did not have to charge sales tax. They were given land. They were given tax exemptions for building.
They didn't have to make a profit?
No, they did not have to make a profit. They didn't charge for shipping, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, as a small business, we give one-on-one service, just like Zang Enterprises, where it's very personal, very hands-on. And for me to spend an hour explaining a toy or how something works, and to have them pull up their phone and say, oh, Amazon is $1 cheaper, bling, gone, bought it from them, thank you very much. Oh, by the way, would you please donate to our school? So what we see is people don't understand what they're doing when they support big business.
Yeah.
They go to small business for all of their donation needs, but they forget that small business depends on them in order to do those donations.
Well, I want to kind of stay on the area of support for a minute, because large businesses like that can do different things, and they have all of these deep pockets. And with the passage of the recent stablecoin legislation, I think we're going to start seeing that. It's kind of like the credit card perks and all of these things. And people think that this is free money, but you were in the trenches. So how does that really work?
Well, what it really does is the day that they gave you credit for or points on your credit card, those credit cards that yesterday we paid 1.5%, now all of a sudden became high risk cards. So we were now paying 3% on every purchase. We couldn't absorb it. So guess who really got to pay for all of that? You did, because we had to add it on, 25 cents here, 25 cents there, just to cover the cost, because we could not absorb that. But the bank said, hey, this is great.
Well, of course, because it brought more business and they made more money, so they don't really care. But people do need to understand that all of those additional costs that go to the business, because now we've got the tariff inflation coming through, right? How is that going to, how do you think, as a past small business owner, how is that going to impact you versus, say, a Walmart or an Amazon?
I would have no choice but to raise price. There would be no choice, and you would have to pay for it. So ultimately, everything comes back to you, the consumer.
Yes, it does.
And your support of small business is important because we can, as a group, as a community, make a difference in getting information, sharing freight, shipments, doing things, working together to help keep the costs down. But we need your support to do it, because if we don't do the business, the companies are not going to work with us.
So with the tariffs that are coming in now, right? How do you think that's going to hit the consumer? I mean, that's what I really want you to talk about.
It is going to hit the consumer so hard they are not going to know what is happening. Because with the tariffs, with the costs, the companies are going to end up cutting benefits that they've given us, maybe some discounted freight, which helps us to keep the costs lower. You're going to pay for it in the long run. It is going to cost more. And then the states have the benefit of extra taxation, sales tax. So you're getting hit with increase in goods, probably less choices in goods, and increased tax because of the increased cost.
What do you think, with your experience, 40 years in retail, so what do you think that is going to do to the consumer and this consumer-driven economy, and then the ensuing inflation?
It's going to cut down on purchases or sales. That's going to eliminate the retailer from being able to stock and buy more product or new product. It's the doom loop in retail. There's no other way to say it. Buy less, sell less, then we buy less for you to choose from.
So does that sound like a vibrant economy?
No, it sounds like an economy that's going down the tubes.
I want to really talk to you about what is happening in the economy and how what we're seeing in tariffs and inflation, because for a minute there, we saw that small businesses were planning on putting a line item for the tariff tax on there. But I haven't heard anything about that since President Trump came out and threatened other companies, larger companies, that said that they were going to do it too. Have you heard any more about that?
I have not heard anything about that, but I do see that restaurants and where I get my hair, if you use a credit card, they charge you extra for it.
Yeah, well, that's the direction that they're going in, and the banks make money every single time you swipe.
That goes back to when they first came out with debit cards. Oh, that doesn't cost anything. Oh, yes, it does. I still had to pay a swipe fee. It was less than the credit card, but I still had to pay a swipe fee. Nothing is for free. Nothing.
Right. That is something that people really do need to understand. Freedom is not free. Integrity is not convenient. But we have to stand in our power to take our power back.
Exactly.
I think that it's absolutely incredibly important that we build that local community. So do you have any ideas on how we can make that happen? Because, small business has been decimated, absolutely decimated.
Yes.
And really, that started in 2000. I know that most people didn't understand that at the time.
No, and I didn't understand it when we were talking, and you would say to me, you didn't fail. Amazon was chosen to win. I never understood that. Never. Until I started working with you. The thing that really opened my eyes was when we were looking at the purchasing power chart. And for
my favorite chart, you guys.
I started with you July 10th of 2017, and it was in June. So 11 months, we were looking at the chart. For whatever reason, it was the first time I actually saw that zero at the bottom of the value. And I literally poked you. And that was my paradigm shift. I was learning. Now I began to understand. And that's the hardest part, is to begin to understand. And that's different for everybody.
It is. And we don't know exactly what's going to help people make that paradigm shift. And there will be a lot of people that won't make it and will end up, I'm sorry, in abject poverty, because when these resets occur, on average, 80% of the population that was a middle class, I mean, the middle class is gone. And I think we can kind of see that today
you see
as
that
well.
when you go, even when you go into a high-end shopping area, buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
Billboards, you need plumbing? Don't worry. We'll do it. You'll pay us later. It's, I know the buy now, pay later. You're becoming a debt slave. Becoming a debt slave is no fun. Been there, done that.
Yeah. I heard a statistic this morning, and I'm going to look at this a little bit more, but 60% of Americans have negative net worth.
Yeah. I heard that on a video too.
So that's pretty, that's pretty scary. It was scary enough when most of the population, or 40% of the population, couldn't come up with $500 in the case of an emergency. Yeah. So what do? I mean, aren't you a debt slave if you've got a negative net worth?
Yeah.
And it's all because of one of my favorite things to do is let's play central bank. Josh needs some exercise.
Okay.
Let's play central bank. Woo! Right? I mean, how easy is this to do? And every single time they do it, the value of the dollars that are out there, or the euros, or the yen, or the yuan, it doesn't matter, take your pick. Government-based money is designed to depreciate. It is designed to lose value. And if the consumer can't consume, I mean, you dealt with what you dealt with. What's the writing on the wall for these businesses? And even like looking at Wall Street, even the larger businesses that are counting on the consumer.
Well, Sundance just is closing all of their doors. So what you're seeing that the big businesses that, in order to survive, are going pure warehouse and catalog. So now they're leaving the retail spaces.
Well,
now you have all this empty retail space.
Right. Okay. But now I want to talk a little bit about the stable coins, because it will be these large corporations like Amazon and Walmart, as well as the banks like JP Morgan. They are going to be issuing stable coins.
Right. And they will give you a perk to buy it.
To get you inside of their ecosystem, right?
Yes. And then once you're in there, they'll give you another perk to ensure that you stay in there. So now you're limited. And it's your fault that you're limiting yourself.
So tell me how you feel about gold and silver.
Well, I have become my own central banker. I make sure that my daughter, who does not live nearby, has precious metals in her possession. My grandsons, that's how I fund their college fund. I don't give them dollars, I give them gold. So they're learning about sound money.
That's good, because we need this younger generation. I mean, this is what the battle is for, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, we're old. We'll be around for another period of time, and then we're gone.
No, I got to live till I'm 105. I got 30 more years.
Yeah, you do have to live to 105. I only have to live to 100. But, really, the point is that we've got to get sound money back into the system, and it must be redeemable. Mm-hmm. And we have to do this for the kids, for our grandkids, for all of our grandkids, and the future, and the children that are not yet born. Because if we do not, the consequences.
No,
exactly.
They're slaves.
Exactly.
And you asked me, and maybe I didn't answer the question, how I feel. I sleep really well at night. I work now because I choose to work. Bankruptcy was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I would not have come over. I would not have the information that I have. And it's really nice to know how that exit strategy is going to work. That's what I'm waiting for, to get all of my people through that exit strategy.
Exactly. Because it matters what you position into.
Absolutely.
Right. And I mean, you work with strategies all the time. So this is a really personalized process. It's got to be, basically it's the same for everybody. It's the same foundation, but everybody's circumstances are different. Yeah. And it's not, and it matters what you position into, because you want to be supportive of your goals. And there's different kinds of gold and different kind of silver that will accomplish that. But it's also knowing when to sell and what you're going to convert it into. That's part of the exit strategy.
Right. And also picking the coins within each section too, because I just went through a liquidation with a client, and someone had suggested one coin. She would have lost money because she hadn't held the coin long enough. It was a really rare, expensive coin. Mm-hmm. She says, the ones you suggested that I sell, I broke even or was ahead on. Right. So if she had just gone into her box and pulled a coin, who knows what she would have pulled. But she had specifics.
Mm-hmm. But you were also talking about a very short-term move.
Right.
Because
she
we are not
that
in
one
hyper.
Long enough. Yeah,
right.
She had to liquidate. She did not want to. She just needed to liquidate a few. It was a short term, and she was ahead on those. Mm-hmm. But her really rare one, no.
Well,
not yet. Long term.
Got to look at all of that, but in the portfolio, you're properly diversified.
Right.
So that no matter where we are in this trend cycle, even if it's not in hyperinflation, mm-hmm. that if something happens, you're covered, right?
Exactly, and that's exactly where she was.
There you go.
Get it done, people. But get yourself positioned in sound money, because if you're positioned there, you can do everything else.
Exactly. And sleep well at night.
Absolutely.
Really. Well, this has been great. I'm so glad that you were able to come by, and we'll have to do it again.
Yes, we will.
Pick another topic, and we'll rock and roll from there.
Okay.
And I hope you guys got as much out of this and enjoyed it as much as I certainly did. And until next we meet, please
be safe out there.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.